Craziness that happens throughout the college football season.
Yeah.
And talk about going to Nevada, the rival, Mountain West Conference title possibly on the line and whatnot. I mean, is it an atmosphere you just try to embrace?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, I mean, I think that's college football. I think that's what, players want to play for something. Players like to play in big games. I think fans want to be a part of it, and all those type of things. And so I think it's a good thing.
And giving the players a break for Thanksgiving, give them a few days to go home, and then after the Hawaii game, give them a couple hours to kind of just get away from. Is this kind of you saying, hey, it's all business, but trying to keep it in perspective too?
Well, it's always about balance. I mean, we spend tremendous amount of time. I mean, with our practices. I mean, we don't just throw out the same practice plan. I mean, our guys might think that, but we spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time, cutting out a period here, and do we need to be in pads? Should we be in just helmets? I mean, there's a lot of mental energy going into what do we need to keep these guys fresh, but yet still practicing to get better. And part of that is time off and rest and not thinking about this.
Last week, didn't you have one where you guys were in pads part of the practice, or 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I guess, but not for the whole practice?
Yeah, so, whatever you got to do. I mean, so we can, the kids they practice pretty well. I mean, whether we're in helmets or shoulder pads or full pads. Full pads and shoulder pads and helmets, I mean, you're splitting hairs. I mean, it probably keeps their legs warmer if you're in full pads than, what you're really going to do in practice at this point in the season.
It's that time of year again, your name gets mentioned for every single job in the country.
22 minutes, that's better than I thought.
Is it a distraction? How do you deal with it?
It is not even kind of, because it's just rumors, and it's, that's all I really want to say about this, and I say it every year. It's just rumors. I don't even think half the time it's reporters. Everybody's a reporter these days. Everybody's got an opinion on a blog or something like that. So they throw it out, and it's going to happen. And, I remember Chad a couple years ago just had to talk to me. Sorry, Chad. Had to, but this one is really, really true. This one, I promise you. I mean, this one's getting legs. I mean, it was so far from false. It couldn't even be.
Details of your new contract.
So, I mean, it is what it is. And so you guys love it. I know it's great, and it sells whatever. But it means zero here. We don't even pay attention to it.
Is there a trouble with it? I mean, that your name comes up so often.
The only trouble is in recruiting.
Right.
And so 99.9% is always completely false. The problem is 0.1.
For us too.
But there hadn't even been 0.1, so yeah.
Do you field those calls, or does somebody in the athletic department do it?
Yeah, it's just,
We got questions on football.
yeah, exactly. You guys, football?
We got other things.
Nevada?
It's kind of football. How about just playing on ABC and you talk about recruiting and that
Yeah.
type of exposure?
Yeah, I think that's great. Excited about that, and so hopefully we play well, and hopefully more people see. I'm sure both sides. Nevada, I'm sure, is excited about it too, and that's what's really helped our program down the road in the past.
You talk so much about winning conference championships. If you win this, and even though it's a split, do you still treat it as we won the Mountain West Conference Championship? Or?
I mean, yeah. I think if you get your hands on, something that says it's part of it, the parity is so. The parity is really narrowed, as we know, in college football and from league to league. And I think anytime you can get your hands on part of it, all of it, you got to feel good about what you've done.
Obviously you're going to the Big East next year, and they would play a championship game. Would you rather play, some kind of championship game where it does get settled on the field, even if it's somewhat controversial?
Next year, yes. This year, no. I mean, it's just kind of, again, I don't really think of it like that. It's like, okay, what's the lay of the land? Here's the rules. Let's go play. And so next year they have a championship game, so hopefully you can get to that.
I know it's kind of a hallmark of your offense, but the way that Joe's been able to kind of spread the ball around to a lot of different receivers this year, credit to him or those receivers? I mean, how pleased have you been with that, being able to get, you got a lot of guys who've been able to get double-digit catches.
Well, it's a fine line when you're talking about offense. I mean, if he doesn't start with our O-line, doing a pretty good job protecting him, which I think they have, and our running backs in that protection scheme. I do think Joe has made progress, slowly but surely, steadily. And I think he's gaining confidence as we speak, I really do. And when, you know, when that position plays well for us in our offense, you know, good things happen. And part of that is spreading the ball around. It's trusting your reads, and it's not designed to go to that guy. It's designed to go to who the open guy is. And so I think when a lot of guys are touching the ball, you know that he's going through his progression probably pretty good.
Joe's timing, while maybe not so great at Hawaii, was excellent against Colorado State. What made the difference in that?
Yeah, split sec, you know, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it's seeing things a little bit quicker and cleaner and getting it out, and, you know, that's what you hope. I mean, we're just splitting hairs here in terms of, you know, good quarterback play to really good quarterback play, and it's all about consistency, because some plays it's like, wow, it's exactly what it needs to look like. That ball, I mean, he's right now. I mean, one of the best plays I saw him make against Colorado State was the ball came out to the flat. I think the Holden Huff in the flat, and it's like that's what it needs to look like. I mean, and that's not his primary read, but he sees it right now in his vision. And the ball comes out, and Holden can get 8 yards. 8 yards, big deal. No, it is a big deal because he's seeing it exactly how he needs to see it. And so we continue to make that type of progress. Good for our offense.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Okay.